I welcome Nishan, Alpin. A pleasure to host you in this last Saturday for the 5-day series of the blockchain at Berkeley in Spanish. So I guess none of you speak Spanish, right?
Unfortunately not. I did
No,
take
it's
Spanish
okay. It's okay. It's
throughout my
okay.
high
Well,
school, so maybe I can practice a little bit, but no, yeah, I don't think I'm good enough to.
it's okay. Well, guys, actually, we had Liam last week speaking English, and all the attendees understood him very well. So, well, today we will have Nisham and Alpin. I will switch a little bit to Spanish just to make the intro to you. Hoy vamos a tener la participación de Alpin y Nisham, hablándonos un poquito más, como les comentamos, nosotros estuvimos en la aceleradora de la Universidad de Berkeley de Blockchain, Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator, el año pasado, y pues queremos invitarlos también para que les compartan cómo es el poder participar con algún proyecto de blockchain dentro de la aceleradora y pues detonar de alguna forma las ideas que se tienen, los primeros pasos en un ecosistema, en un ambiente súper digitalizado como lo es Berkeley, como es la aceleradora. And well, thank you very much for being here and share with us how the accelerator is working with all this ecosystem, with blockchain at Berkeley, with the blockchain ecosystem in general, with the blockchain space, and to see the possibilities that people from Latin America can go and apply, how they can boost their projects in this sense, right? Well, Alpin, Nisham, this is your space. Thank you very much. And go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, first off, thank you, Fernando, for kind of inviting us here. It's an awesome opportunity to speak to everyone. So I'm Nishan. I'm one of the heads of the accelerator. I kind of joined the accelerator around 8 months ago and became a head around 3 months later. And now I'll pass it to Alpin, who will kind of get us started on just what the accelerator is all about. We have a presentation that we can screen share.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much, Fernando and Lumit, for hosting this. I'm really excited to talk about the accelerator and all the opportunities that we have for you guys. I'm Alpin. I'm the director of fundraising for our accelerator, and I lead most of our external operations. I've been pretty active in the venture capital space in a fund that invests only in blockchain use cases, and it's been a tremendous experience over the past 8 months working with this organization. So I'll share my screen just to show you a short presentation that we have. Hopefully, so we'll give a little bit more context on. Nishan, is my screen good right now?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Yeah, so just to introduce our organization, and also, as Fernando was saying, the entire ecosystem at UC Berkeley. So the Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator is a collaboration, actually, between 4 organizations on UC Berkeley's campus. The Business School, the College of Engineering, the Entrepreneurship Center, and Blockchain at Berkeley, which is a student organization that Nishan and I are both a part of. And to give a little bit of background into all of these, although there's way more information there than I can fit into this section, the College of Engineering houses some big names in the space. So Shafi Goldwasser, who co-authored the paper for zero knowledge proofs, so she is one of the co-inventors of that technology. And she is at UC Berkeley as a professor and researcher. Don Song, who's the co-founder of Oasis Labs, as well as a host of other notable people in this space, are all part of UC Berkeley's College of Engineering. It's also, as you might already know, a top 10 school in all engineering disciplines and a top 5 school in electrical engineering and computer science, which makes it a great place to source talent for blockchain companies looking for engineers. Our Satarja Center for Entrepreneurship is a center housed under the College of Engineering that teaches courses to students and executives every year, over 2,000 students, over 500 executives. And they are the source of our extremely robust network in Silicon Valley and San Francisco for VCs, and one of the main reasons why our numbers are so strong, and we'll get to the numbers in a little bit. And obviously the Haas School of Business, the second oldest business school in the US, and extremely well recognized around the US and around the world. By joining our program in the accelerator, you get to plug into all of these. So just through this one outlet, you get to plug into Berkeley's entire ecosystem. And last but not least, Blockchain at Berkeley, which is the first and highest output blockchain student organization in the US, and has the world's first university accredited course, Blockchain Fundamentals, which you all are taking a Spanish version of, which has over 160,000 people enrolled, which Nishan I will talk a bit more about in a bit. And this organization has many branches to it, one of which is a fellows program for our accelerator. So students can actually get directly involved, and as you'll hear about in a little bit, this is one of the biggest resources for companies in our program as well. So the goal of our accelerator is to grow the blockchain ecosystem, which means everything that we do is done in the best interest of the founders and companies in our program. That means that our program is non-dilutive, which means when you join, you don't have to give up part of your company. In fact, it's completely free. All companies who join get access to every resource that we give at no cost. And the way that we do that is by partnering with companies that believe in this space and believe in this cause, give us funding, and also a little bit of bootstrapping. We have 45 companies who have either gone through our program or are going through it right now. And of our first batch in spring 2019, over 75% have raised a total of over $12 million for a first batch accelerator. If you're familiar with the space, this is unheard of. And our structure allows for this level of growth for companies that come in. So to, I guess, give a little bit more meat to what I just said, we have received over 350 applications from 45 countries. Yes, that means we don't restrict applications to any specific jurisdictions. You can apply from anywhere in the world, and as long as our programs remain remote, you don't have to fly in either. So our applications and companies are extremely diverse. We have a 10 to 15% admission rate, which has been decreasing, but has led to 45 startups being accelerated by our program. And our current program is right in the wrapping up stage, with demo day coming up in around a month or so. So maybe the most relevant part for all of you are all of the resources that companies in our program get access to. And most notably in this long list are focus weeks. So weeks where we focus on a specific topic, such as fundraising or go-to-market or product launches, even pitch preparation, which we just went through last week for demo day. These are sessions where we bring in extremely accomplished speakers and the top of their field, and you get to learn directly from people in our network, which is over 100 plus right now, of mentors, investors, and practitioners. This actually is a really interesting statistic that I noticed recently, We currently have over 30 mentors. So mentors being people in San Francisco and beyond who are at the top of their field, who are one email away from any type of help that an accelerator company might have, which means for every one company in our cohort, we have 2 industry mentors. You get access to a tremendous number of resources, not the least of which is you get to plug in directly to San Francisco's and Silicon Valley's investor network. And obviously, you also get a fellow student in blockchain at Berkeley to help you take full advantage of all of these resources, some of which Nishan will give a little bit more information on, for example, our talent pipeline, which is also really robust. Some of these names you might recognize. We have some level of involvement with every single one of these companies and many more. Usually they come in either as a speaker, a partner for the accelerator. Some of these have led fundraising rounds for companies in our cohort. And our ultimate goal is to become the best blockchain ecosystem in the world for protocols, VC funds, startups, and visiting researchers. And as Shafi Goldwasser, I mentioned earlier, the co-inventor of Zero Knowledge Proof said, blockchain sprouted like mushrooms on the Berkeley campus. And the best way for you to get involved in that ecosystem is through our program. So I'll pass it off to Nishan right now to talk about a few of our success cases.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk you guys through just a little bit of like what we've seen through the accelerator and through UC Berkeley. So I'll first start with a little success story, and one of the most successful success stories from blockchain at Berkeley, who is kind of a co-lead of the accelerator. So our success case that I want to talk about is Open, which is a DeFi, decentralized finance company. You might have heard of them. They've been making a lot of really crazy waves in the DeFi space recently. They raised from Dragonfly Capital around a couple months ago, and basically what they do is they do crypto-based derivatives. So it's all based on this token that they have called the O token, and derivatives are just super important as a kind of DeFi insurance for the space. So super, super relevant, and they've been just making waves everywhere around right now. And then next we have, I forget the next one. Yeah, next we have Anchain. So Anchain is a great example of what a company can kind of get by going through the accelerator. So Anchain was in our first cohort, our spring 2019 cohort, and they made sure to make every resource that was available to them the most out of. So Anchain is basically an AI-powered intelligence, a blockchain security platform. So basically, if you're familiar with Chainalysis, a blockchain analysis / cybersecurity platform, it's essentially that, just much stronger, in our opinion. And so Anchain went through our accelerator, and a result of the connections in our accelerator and the mentors in our accelerator who they got to talk with, they were able to get follow-on funding from SIG and Amino Capital up to 4 million. So a great success story with Anchain. And then next I have Alluvio. So Alluvio was in the cohort after, so fall 2019. And Alluvio is basically a network for distributing videos and movies and video content. So they had a great win recently, actually. There is a English film that kind of came out recently called Bill and Ted Face the Music, and it's a pretty big one, and it's been having movie premieres. And Alluvio actually partnered with MGM, so the MGM movie production studio, to distribute the kind of video format for this movie, which was very, very cool. So yeah, again, they took huge kind of advantages of our mentor networks and beyond. And even beyond that, kind of to highlight the diversity of our cohort, it really is quite insane. Just this last cohort, in our spring 2020 cohort, we had companies from 6 of the 7 continents of the world. Unfortunately, we didn't have one from South America, but we did have a team from Mexico, which was Sixtant, which is a cryptocurrency hedge fund. So we absolutely don't discriminate based on location. So excited to see if anyone else pops up from us from there. But yeah, next I'll kind of move on to the academic landscape and kind of what accelerator teams get to interact with and how the academic landscape kind of works back and forth with us. So first off, we have a visiting researchers program. So if this sounds interesting at all, do pay attention to this. We had around 10 of them who applied for this academic year that started right now. But sadly, because of COVID, they weren't able to kind of come to the Berkeley campus. but a visiting research program is so cool. You basically get to come be a researcher on Berkeley's campus, have full access to the ecosystem by being sponsored by the accelerator. So it's kind of just a win-win for the researchers to be on Berkeley's campus, and Berkeley and our companies obviously benefit from having these kind of researchers working with them. Next up, I have just a little bit of an overview of what I'll kind of talk about next. A lot of the things in our academia side of things is all about kind of creating an education, a talent pipeline for our companies themselves. So all of this is just to make our companies have the best possible experience. So this can either go based on hiring, which I'll kind of talk about a little bit more, or blockchain courses on campus that you can get involved in. Alpin also mentioned the Fellows program from Blockchain at Berkeley. So this is where Blockchain at Berkeley students come into the accelerator, get paired with a couple of teams, and these fellows that we call them are basically your liaison across just the Berkeley blockchain ecosystem. Alpin and I started as fellows in the accelerator, so it's a really cool opportunity for everyone there. And finally, as we've kind of mentioned, the kind of blockchain research kind of initiatives on campus are pretty outstanding. So really exciting stuff. And so now I'll kind of dive into this one thing about the job portal first. So with COVID happening around and really hitting around 6 to 7 months ago, and with students really getting hit by internships being canceled and other things like that, we thought it'd be a great time to kind of start something that we've always been thinking about, which was a job portal, because we have our companies in our network and they're always looking for interns or researchers or full-time engineers or product managers to kind of join. So we thought, why don't we create this little talent portal where people can sign up, add their information, and our companies can reach out and kind of get them jobs. So yeah, if we go to the next slide, these are just a couple of stats from there. So over just a month after launch, we received over 500 applications for this job portal. So basically just all ended up becoming a pool that our companies could look into and take applicants from. We had applicants from over 200 schools and universities across the world. And from these applications, we had over 20 interviews sent by accelerator companies. And yeah, we can go to the next one. So it wasn't just kind of software engineering that we looked for. We were looking for blockchain research positions, PM positions, finance, business development, and more on the design side of things. So super diverse. We wanted to just give the widest net that we could. And so just an example of just some of the institutions that we worked with, so some of the top kind of STEM and economics programs across the nation. So on the left, we kind of see some really strong engineering programs, then some more mixed liberal arts programs, and then some smaller schools on the right. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah, and then another side to things are these courses on our campus. So kind of the first example of this is Blockchain at Berkeley's courses, which we run. So through Blockchain at Berkeley, our biggest thing that we do, in my opinion, is our blockchain courses. So we have a fundamentals course that is on edX right now, and which you kind of went through for 5 days as well, so you're pretty familiar with it. It's been taken by over 150,000, and you got to meet Liam, the president of Blockchain at Berkeley, last week as well. So we have a fundamentals course that we offer on campus as well, and we also have a blockchain for developers course. What's really cool is that accelerator companies get to work specifically with these courses. Even this semester, we have several accelerator companies coming to speak to Berkeley students before each session for each course. And it's really cool because you get to meet some of the smartest students and the smartest engineering students in the world. And many accelerator companies have actually found talent and hires from these courses themselves. So it's a great way to just kind of get your name out there. Yeah, so we can move on to just an example. So this is the developers course. It was last spring that it happened, so just around 8 months ago. And so basically this was a very new course that we revamped at Blockchain at Berkeley, and kind of went from just being like a Solidity course to just understanding the entire blockchain development ecosystem. So even though the text is a little small, if you kind of see in the second half of the syllabus, we brought a lot of guest lectures, and in the future, having accelerator companies give guest lectures is pretty much the plan. So yeah, we can go to the next slide. Another side to things are courses offered through the Sustarja Center for Entrepreneurship. So these are usually in the form of challenge lab courses or special project courses. So one example of this is a challenge lab course in emerging tech, which is actually happening this semester. It's been taught by Luke Kowalski, who's a VP at Oracle, for around 4 semesters now, so he's really great at that. We've had over 200 students join, where basically they join the class, they kind of learn about these emerging technologies and get to kind of build a project out of it. One project actually out of this course is in our cohort right now. So if teams ever take this course, there's absolutely a path into the accelerator. The team was Calypso, and I'll send a link for our portfolio a little later. We also have another course, about kind of building with future protocols and just future internet protocols. So we can go to the next slide. This was a kind of 5G AI course, which was with GSMA, which is like the Mobile Association for Europe, I think. So kind of working closely with this organization, students formed teams and kind of built projects kind of revolving around this theme. So it's really, really cool. There are all these kind of sorts of courses you can get involved in. Another really awesome opportunity is that we are actually building our own special projects course through SEET next semester. And we're bringing a couple of really awesome blockchain protocols to join in on us for that course. And that's another thing that accelerator companies might spread out of. But yeah, just to kind of end off, I just wanted to highlight some of our values that we have. Honestly, at the end of it all, we're all just inventors, and we just really, really want to kind of lift other inventors up. We want to bring blockchain from just kind of the lab, but really out into the wild, because we really, really believe in it. One big thing is kind of like, don't want to take things at face value. We really want to embrace change, have self-awareness. And this is something that we see in our companies all the time. Companies come in and they're never rigid with their plans. We've had companies completely rebrand. We've had them change the platform that they're on. Because once they get into this ecosystem, it's just the best place to just change up and pivot and just do whatever feels right. And just thirdly, we believe in a decentralized world. That's kind of our buy-in into the blockchain ecosystem. We just really believe in that. And then finally, we really believe in paying it forward. So once companies kind of get out of the accelerator, we'd love for you to kind of hang around our ecosystem. We'd like to give back to you as a little thanks, and we love your support as well. We've had teams like Chain continue to be involved with the accelerator, doing sessions with the accelerator for our current cohort of teams. So it's just an awesome kind of ecosystem in the end. So yeah, this is absolutely a place for any blockchain startup team to come here, enjoy our ecosystem, and just have a great time and just get out and be awesome. Yeah, it's a really cool opportunity. So yeah, right now we can kind of take any questions if there are any, Fernando.
Yeah, well, present anything. Thank you very much for your time, Alpin, Nishan, to present to us what the blockchain accelerator is doing. Well, I think I'm going to open the mic for the first person who raised their hand. So, and let him or let her to ask. Okay. Bueno, lo que les contaba es si alguien, voy a abrir el micrófono para la primera persona que quiera preguntarles algo. Entonces, no sé si hay alguien que quiera levantar la mano, que hacer alguna pregunta, como involucrarse más. Pues usted, ahora sí, que los primeros 3 que levanten la mano, a esos 3 les voy a abrir el micrófono. ¿Alguna pregunta? No, aprovechen algún contacto de ver cómo poder involucrarse. Creo que, a ver, Roa Dobre. ¿Qué tal,
Hi
Roa?
guys. Hola.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. So I work at a university out of Mexico. I work in a business school section. So I was wondering, how can we actually collaborate?
Yeah, in terms of kind of, in terms of like the business school, kind of one thing I see is just based on like the students that you have, kind of, I'd say like the ability to kind of be around our networks and just kind of maybe be in our mentor networks, or the ability to kind of connect with our teams. I think that would be really awesome. I think if the business school could even do something like join us in those programming sessions or have a programming session with us. The kind of possibilities are pretty endless, but could you tell me a little bit more about just like what the program is all about, and then maybe we can imagine a little bit from there.
Sure. So this is Tec de Monterrey. This is one of the biggest schools here in Mexico, universities, private university, and the business school section of it is really focused on, being on the cutting edge of new things. So we are really interested in collaborating it with whatever is new and has a real future, like blockchain. We are really interested in offering a really good experience for our students and kind of get out of the usual traditional classroom environment and make them, think a little bit further, and obviously connect with companies that are maybe interested in the talent, that we develop here, and obviously that
Yeah.
maybe some of you guys develop as well.
Yeah, so
All right. Absolutely.
ways,
Yeah.
actually, go on. I think
Oh
there's
no, you got
ways
it. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we can get involved together. First is if there are any companies that come out of your university who are blockchain companies who would like an opportunity to be in the accelerator, we can definitely take a look at them, see if there's a fit with our program. More tangibly, you can join our mentor network, be an advisor to our companies, and in return, also be part of our ecosystem and get access to those resources. But if you're looking more for resources for your students, then I think some form of cross collaborative event where maybe you host an event for us, we host an event for you, might be it's always possible. If you'd like to, you can definitely reach out and maybe we can bring in people from our network to come and give a speaker session at your university or on Zoom, and then you can come and talk about something that is in your field of expertise, and we can have that sort of a two-sided event as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
would be
think
great.
actually, Ro, another thing that I've kind of imagined is we kind of mentioned the talent network as well. And I know you kind of talked about how you wanted to kind of offer the best to your students. And I think allowing students access to this talent network, so basically allowing them to apply into the network and join immediately, and allow kind of blockchain companies to be able to look at their profiles all the time and perhaps hire from them. I think that would be really cool as well. And another thing we do to kind of connect our companies to just people across the ecosystem is we do icebreakers kind of every couple months. So we have social events kind of where everyone comes in and you get to just like go around meeting different people from across our ecosystem. So we invite our mentors and people from our community. And I think it'll be really cool to have some business students from your school kind of join us. So yeah, we can drop some contact information in the chat, and I'd say definitely shoot an email.
Thank you so much. We would very much enjoy that collaboration.
Thank you. Yeah.
Gracias, Roa. We have another question, Nishan and Alpin, that is from Victor Inomiya. How can I belong to Berkeley Accelerator community being an alumni from one of your courses?
Yeah. Yeah, Alpin, did you want to take this?
Yeah, so it depends on if you're an alumni at UC Berkeley or an alumni of the Blockchain at Berkeley online course. I think if you're an alumni of Berkeley, obviously you have access to all of Berkeley's resources anyway, and you can you're already plugged into the network. For our Blockchain at Berkeley course online, so on edX, or this fundamentals course that you guys just went through, it's a separate program from UC Berkeley. So the main way that you would plug into into Berkeley's ecosystem and network would be either by joining the Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator as a company or joining our advisor or mentor network as an advisor to our companies. So if you have a specific field of expertise, for example, go-to-market or product development in the blockchain space, then you can apply to be a mentor in our network, and you can join our ecosystem that way.
Great. And we have another question that is, in what phase must a project be in order to apply to the accelerator?
Yeah.
So
Oh, actually, go ahead, Nish. I already answered.
Yeah, so it varies slightly, but we do kind of take companies that are kind of in that seed, pre-seed range. You don't need to have to raise anything much at all, but we just want to see perhaps like an MVP or just a kind of an idea for a product. But it does kind of vary. We want more early stage, so we go for more early stage companies, more pre-series A, and then coming through the accelerator, we will hopefully see you raise your seed or series A rounds.
So generally, we don't have a limit on the stage of a company, but the most successful companies in our batches have been ones that have come in with minimal fundraising, but very strong products or very strong teams in very specific spaces. And we have been able to pull them through to the end of their Series A fundraise. An example being a company called Akala Network in our current batch, who just closed a $7 million raise. And they came in with much less funding than that. So generally, we shoot for earlier stage companies because those companies have much more to gain from our resources. But we do want to see some level of traction. If you just come with an idea, it might not be enough. But we definitely take from all stages.
Thank you. And also, I would like to open the mic to Juan Luis. Juan Luis is right now is on the batch I think it's in this batch with
yeah, he is.
Yes. How are you?
Juan.
Hey, can you hear me all?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Nishan. Hey everyone. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you here.
Thank you.
I give Sixten a little shout out in the team section.
Well, Juan Luis, I would like
you.
if you can share with us in Spanish, what has been your experience being in the accelerator?
Claro, todos los recursos que nos están constantemente promoviendo. Por ejemplo, ahorita ya estamos cerrando, ahora sí que el grupo ya lo estamos cerrando con las preparaciones para el Pitch Day. Y ahora sí que nos están llevando como de la manita para mejorar el pitch y tener muchas más oportunidades para que tengamos financiamiento, ya sea con VCs o empezando con VCs, pero no solamente limitado a los VCs, ¿no? Realmente yo tengo 4 meses en Sixtant, pero he disfrutado mucho esta parte del apoyo que nos están dando todos en el accelerator.
Pues muchísimas gracias, Juan Luis. Para todos los para que recuerden, Sixtant es tuvimos a Josu San Martín también en el segundo sábado, no recuerdo. En el primer sábado, dándonos ahí cátedra en el tema de todo lo que es el Shadow 56 y demás. Pues Josu es uno de los fundadores de Sixtant, que ahorita está en la aceleradora. Muchas gracias, Juan Luis.
Muchas gracias, Fernando. Muchas gracias a todos en CINCEL. Lumit, thank you, Nishan.
Thank you, Juan.
See you.
Well, thank you very much, Nishan, Alpin, for your time. I think it has been very helpful, and also for this alliance with blockchain at Berkeley, and allows all these courses being translated in Spanish and being taught here in the Latin American region.